I follow the Waiting to Wed subreddit. I peek in there periodically. Many of their stories are just like, girl, please wake up. If you really want a ring, please leave this relationship. Anyways, I came across this post and I needed to share. This woman says, ended it after 1.6 years. She did not even let it get to 2 years. She said, I am leaving right now. Peace out. Let's jump into her very short post. She says, hi everyone, long-term lurker here. I just broke up with my boyfriend after spending 1.6 years together. We didn't have any problems, and it was a blissful time spent together. We spoke about marriage 6 months in our relationship, and we're on the same page. We're coming up on 2 years in September, and I revisited the conversation about marriage last week, and he told me he needed 3 years to work on his living situation. Currently, his mom lives with him in his house, and he retired her early. When we talked about marriage, I expressed to him that I wouldn't be comfortable living with his mom, and he agreed that wouldn't be an ideal situation. I broke up with him because I'm not willing to wait 5 years total for an engagement, and there's no guarantee he will propose after that time frame. I would build up a lot of resentment if things were to go in a different direction. I just let him know that I'm not willing to wait that long. We can revisit our marriage conversation in 3 years when you feel like you're ready. I would like to add that I don't want children, so I'm not worried about my time running out. I'm a bit sad because the last 1.6 years were so much fun, but still indifferent. Today I choose me, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Y'all, this is what I'm talking about. This is the reason why I say things like, I really want women to go out, know and understand what they want out of themselves, experience life, get their education, get some career foundation and experience, really know what you want out of your future. Do you want to get married? Do you not want to get married? Do you want kids? Do you not want kids? How do you see yourself parenting? How do you see yourself set up as far as all of these other things? This is so important to know and understand, because dating is an exclusionary process. You're crossing people off the list, and it doesn't have to always be things end bitterly or with extreme anger. Sometimes you just end things because you're not on the same page at the same time. Like this woman, she says, thank you for letting me know. You have your priorities. Your mother is your priority. Getting her together is your priority. I'm not there. That is not my priority. I want to be married, and it's not in the timeline. So I'm going to end this now. I like this. She's kind of sad, but she is okay. I like this. She's not going to wait 5 years to get an engagement ring and then another 5 years and be that forever girlfriend. That forever fiance that has a ring dangling over her head. I love this for her. Y'all needed to see this short post. All right, some of the comments. A Frenchie call says, hindsight is always 20/20, right? Ultimately, it's impossible to know now if he earnestly was going to make you his fiance in 3 years, or if he would have ended up stringing you along for 10, whatever his reasoning was. You had or have different goals. You're currently not compatible. It must hurt, of course, but you did what felt right to you. Don't feel guilty for choosing yourself. And to that, the OP says, there are no guarantees in life, and I would be so regretful if I wasted my time and it didn't unfold the way he said it was. High five, OP. Month 241 says, I think the fact that he prioritized retiring his mother early tells you where OP sits on his to-do list, at least number 2. Here's the OP saying his mom immigrated and retired way before we even met. And Corey's gal says, is it common in his mom's culture? Back in the day, even here in the States, if a parent was widowed or retired, they moved in with one of the kids, generally in their own apartment area. If it's normal in his mom's culture, chances are she won't be moving out unless she has other kids. The success of these arrangements really depends on the space available. If mom just has a bedroom, then common areas become a problem. Her own apartment gives everyone privacy. I don't think that she came in and responded to that. Edge Ruff says, you did the right thing. Mom will always come first. Educational Gas says, under no circumstances get involved with an Italian, Greek, Spaniard, any Latin American. There are exceptions, of course, but many will prioritize their parents. I know that because I come from that kind of culture. Was it perhaps the case with him as well? No answer to that. Brownie says, my initial thought was that the breakup was a little quick, but the mother dynamic naturally puts more pressure on the relationship overall. That said, it doesn't sound like it was a bad decision if you're not feeling like it was a bad decision. And to that, the OP says, I gave myself a week to think it through and make a decision. I don't want to have analysis paralysis. I'm a bit sad because he was an amazing boyfriend to me, but the 5-year time frame is insane. Go Ask Allie says, I'm a firm believer in if he wanted to, he would. In my experience, if a man really wants something, he'll make it happen. Repulsive Power says, correct. My husband locked me down quick. Bubble Bath Dragon says, first date in May, exclusive in June, moved in together in November, pregnant November, engaged December, married February. When they know, they know. I feel the same way though. I was in 2 different 4-year relationships each, never progressed, never was right. Totally different when I found my husband. And that is true. When they know, they know. They're not going to string you along, but this is also where, and I'll repeat this, you know yourself and what you want. If this is what you want and you see that a person is not on your time frame, even as you've expressed what you want in your time frame, cross them off the list and move on. It's easier to get over a person once you've completely crossed them off the list. You're not going to bring someone along on your time frame. You need to find someone that is already where you are. Stop trying to pull these people along, because if you have to pull them along to get to the engagement part, you'll have to pull them along throughout the whole relationship, the marriage, doing things in the household, getting to throwing the trash out, getting to unloading the dishwasher or loading the dishwasher. It'll always be a pull. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. I felt that it was super duper necessary to talk about this because we always see those long, drag out, sad, depressing, waiting to wed stories. And this one was a good one to me. So like, comment, and share. This is another post that made me smile. So many of these delusional men will jump onto social media. They'll be in their 30s and 40s acting like they could just swoop in and grab a 20-something-year-old. And I'm like, I may not be 20-something, but I have been 20-something. And there was no way when I was in my 20s, I was looking at someone that was my dad's age. It just wasn't happening. And I talked to enough 20-somethings to know that these men are delusional. These 20-somethings are not looking to fall in love with somebody that is that much older than them. I came across this post and it definitely made me smile. She says, this is in the rant subreddit. She says, I'm really starting to believe it's a manipulation thing from older men. She says, so if you're not familiar with Hinge, it's a dating site. I'm a 21-year-old woman and I get likes from older men all the time. And I recently come to catch that a lot of them would lie about their age and remove 10 to 15 years. And I snoop and later find out. So today I got a like from an older guy, was displayed 43, and he looks way older. So I just accepted him. I was bored and I messaged, who do you expect to believe you're 43? And then goes on to say he's actually 43 and turns 44 in October. I just can't believe it. So I search him up and he's not 43 like initially figured. So then instead of calling him out, I just messaged him and said, haha, that's so funny because I'm 41. After he read my message, he asked, but your profile says 21. I didn't respond, but 5 minutes later, he unmatched. To me, this just affirms the manipulation narrative that these men really are looking for young girls because it's easier to manipulate than older women. Because let's say I was 41, I still look the same on my profile. So it's not the young women look better narrative. It's also not about fertility because on his profile, it says has kids and want no more kids. He already started off his message trying to manipulate me into thinking he was 43. And he's not the only older man on these apps trying this. What is wrong with these older men? They are delusional. They really, I don't know, they really think that women 10, 15, 20 years younger than them want them. And maybe not enough women are saying, no, Papa, you are way too old for me. Or no, Papa, you're my daddy's age. I'm not bringing someone home that's my daddy's age. More young women just need to tell these men to snap out of it and get someone your own age, if they would even have them. Lemon Water says 10,000%. I swear they get off on the manipulation aspect. It's so gross. It's so creepy and gross. I'm glad you're aware of it. Stay safe, friend. And to that, the OP says yes. And I'm so much more aware because I grew up around older women and their support around dating. People say stop infantilizing and victimizing young 20-year-old women, but in reality, older men are the ones infantilizing us by thinking we're dumb as F. It makes me feel weird every time. Prestigious Comb says they're just basically predators. I sometimes wonder what they were like when they were younger. Like in their 20s, did they go for even younger? These type of men gross me out. So then Logical Database says typically not. That's not really how attraction at that level works. If they are Fritos at 45, they were Fritos at 15. You have to look at the screen to see what I mean when I say Fritos, because censorship. These types of men fall into one of two categories in my experience. One, they are unable to get women at their own age level because physically they may be 45, they're still mentally and emotionally a teenager. Women of their own age don't want to date a man-child. So yeah, I tend to find most women who have a thing for older men tend to be shook of it once they start dating them and eventually figure this whole thing out. 1B, I might catch flack for this, but I also put abusive men with personality disorders here as well, because if you do some research on this subject, you'll find that it's common enough theory in psychology circles that most people with personality disorders are just broken children internally. And their abusive behavior and broken personality structure comes out of their own inability to deal with their complex trauma. While sad, you're not their mom, nor do you have the ability to help these people anyways. Only they can make the decision to get help, and only they can do the work. Stay far away from these men. Number 2, they have money and are just looking for a booty call. This is what it is, really. Typically, you'll see a Porsche or something in their profile picture, wearing a high dollar suit and watch or something, transparent as hell. But yeah, so there you have it. What do you think about her numbers 1, 1B, and 2? KK Fluff says there was a study done recently that says as women age, their level of attraction typically ages with them. That is to say that the men they are into when they are 15 are not the same men they are into when they are 20, not the same men they are into when they are 50, while men's tend to stay pretty constant with desiring women in a certain age range. I don't know how scientific the study was, but it honestly would make sense given what I have noticed in society. I saw that too. So women's age range just kind of aged with them along the same line. Men's age range stayed being attracted to women around the 20-year mark, and I'm totally sure if they could have gone younger, they would have gone younger. It was very interesting to watch the data points, just stay along that same line. But like this person said, I don't know how scientific that was. Environmental Snow says, I know of that study. The only reason the age group of 15 was the most popular was because they didn't have a lower option. I wish I were joking. Okay, last one. Last screenshot. This one says, want to deal some damage? Tell them, wow, those 43 years must have been really tough, huh? It's evil, but Because, yeah, some of these people, if they're supposedly 43 or 37 or something, they look like they have lived a lot, like outside in all of the weather. Heat, snow, extreme snow, tornadoes. They look terrible for 43 and 37. It's probably some drugs and alcohol sprinkled in there. Some hard living, very little water, no vegetables, no fruit. Here's the OP saying, on dating apps, you have to be very cautious. Some men may report you for literally anything, especially their ego. So, that's a valid point. I don't know how quickly people get banned off of off of dating apps. I know the men don't get banned even when women block them, according to what we're seeing with the Bumble fumble. But, you never know. Women could get banned simply for touching a trigger point of these old looking dudes who are lying about their age. And then finally, Edge Miserable says, "Oh, yeah, I got kicked off Tinder. No idea why. Probably because I didn't meet up with some loser. I did nothing against their policies." And then they whine about how there's more men than women on dating sites because fragile men get us kicked off. There's that. That one was kind of funny. Touch the trigger points of these dudes, but also, if you think that they're lying about their age, tell a slight fib about yours as well, going higher and see how they respond. All right, let me know what you think about this one. I came across this short post in the dating subreddit, and I'm going to try to get through it without editorializing. This man says, "I don't like the fact that my ex is moving on, even though I've done so myself." He says, "I broke up with my girlfriend. I broke up. The man broke up with this woman. I broke up with my girlfriend of 4 years around 10 months ago, but I'm struggling to come to terms with the fact that she's moved on. At first, I was struggling to move on, but with the help of my friends, I found a new girlfriend and am happy now. Me and my ex agreed to be friends after the breakup. Whenever we talk and our new relationships come up, I can't help but feel annoyed or angry at the fact that she's moved on. I don't know why I feel this way or how I'm supposed to get over it. I'm in a happy and loving relationship now, so I shouldn't feel this way about my ex's new boyfriend, but I do and don't know what to do about it. I don't have any feelings for my ex anymore, so why do I feel this way? It's been gnawing at me for a while, so I just need some advice or someone to vent to." It's the nerve and audacity for me. This man is the one that broke up with her. He discarded her. He no longer had a use for her. But the thing is, these people tend to overestimate themselves and undervalue the women in their lives. Like, he threw her away for whatever reason, he didn't say. And that's one of the things about men being narrators. They don't really talk about what the issues were. But he got rid of his girlfriend for whatever reason. She got over it. She was like, cool. And that's one of the things that it seems like these men are having issues with, are the woman moving on, because they believe that, I think that they really believe that women are going to like fall out and just like be eating a bunch of ice cream and melt into a puddle and slide down the walls, and like, why me? Why me? As I'm drinking some wine and hugging all the cats. They really think that women are going to fall out. That's the reason why I say they overestimate themselves. He's like clutching at his imaginary pearls, like, how dare she move on? How dare someone love her? I got rid of her. Like, what is going on? And that's, like I said, that's because they don't see the full humanity of women. They really think that we're here to serve them. And once our purpose to them is over and done with, we're just supposed to disappear or something. They don't see us as full human beings, basically. Anyways, let's jump into a few of these comments. Bitter Ad says, "You're not angry because you still love her. You're angry because your ego took a hit. Seeing her move on challenges the idea that you were the one for her. It's about identity, not love. If you truly want peace, stop comparing. Accept that your emotions are normal, but don't let them control you." Hot Poet says, "This is the way." The person at the bottom says, "You get over it by blocking them and deleting everything about them." In this case, I don't think he wants to block her. He wants to stay connected. He wants to see her in a puddle and sad and everything. And it's going to get dangerous. He's probably going to end up losing out on his current relationship if he doesn't stop obsessing over this woman. But he's being quite strange, and he's not going to block her because he wants to keep tabs. Like, when is she going to get sad or something? That other dude says, "I'm aware I'm about to get downvoted to hell. I'm real tired of seeing this be the near universal response online to having emotions around breakups. Avoiding the memories and emotions is not going to heal you or make you a stronger person. It is simply just avoiding. If there was abuse or there is stalking or anything of that nature, or if someone is concerned they might relapse into something bad for them, absolutely. block them to protect yourself. But OP just said he is in a loving relationship now and has been and presumably would like to continue to be friends with his ex. Identifying the reason for these emotions and making an effort to understand how to deal with all the factors will make OP a much happier and stronger person while hopefully being able to maintain that friendship. I disagree. I do believe that blocking, even if it's blocking for a little while to give you a chance to get over these initial feelings, is helpful. Because if you keep seeing them, you'll keep on running these memories and these issues through your head. And obviously, this man is triggered by this woman actually being happy. So I do believe that this would help. And also, I believe in blocking in general. If a person is making you uncomfortable for whatever reason, if you don't want to see them for whatever reason, I believe. That's I believe and learn at the same time. I believe in blocking people quickly. Get them out of your feed. Why do you want to see people for whatever reason that's triggering you or upsetting you for any reason? Block them. So I don't agree with that other dude. Canvas Killer says, I really don't see the point in trying to be friends with an ex who you obviously have feelings for and those feelings affecting your current loving relationship. Remove them from your life and heal without them, or you'll just end up ruining your current relationship and watching your ex still move on. Later down the road, after time apart and some growth, you can try to reintroduce them back into your life, but I bet you'll have zero interest in doing that. See, that's where I am right now. Lo Gazelle says, yep, my ex-fiance did this and now he's my ex. I suggested for him to block his former girlfriends and friends with benefits, but he didn't. And now I'm on that list as well. Move on without keeping in touch with your exes or you will absolutely ruin your new relationship like my ex ruined ours. So, like I said, I believe that this man is running down that path of having two exes. So this is another short post that I'm going to segue into. I kind of feel like there is a connection, but you can let me know what you think. He says, will I ever find a girlfriend? He says, I'm a 36-year-old man. I'm often wondering when will I ever have a girlfriend because dating sites are wild and I think some ladies now go on dates just to get fed. These men who think women just are using them for for food is just silly. I'm into marketing, not rich, but I try my best to pay my bills on time. Congratulations, you're an adult at 36 and you're paying your bills on time like you're supposed to. I don't drive too, but ladies are so fixated on me driving. I'm smart, dress good, smell good, romantic, and can articulate myself, but looks like that's not enough. Note, I don't have any disable. Okay. I do believe that these peen havers simply believe or have bought into the fairy tale that simply showing up with the peen and having a job is enough to get a woman. They have bought into that and they really are looking around confused like, where is my wife appliance? Where is my girlfriend appliance? I have a job. I pay my bills on time. Like I smell good. I take showers. He is literally not saying anything about himself. And there's no wonder that he's not going to find a girlfriend because he thinks that he has bought into the fact that women are just using men for food. These people refuse to get the updated version, like women actually do work. And then he says, I don't have any disable. So is he also ableist? He's letting us know that he, is completely able-bodied. But that's also kind of, I don't know, this sentence right here is kind of troubling in itself to me, but someone else will have to weigh in on why that is. Jolly Juniper says, and I think ladies now on dates just to get fed. And then they say, with that attitude, no, as in no, he'll never find a girlfriend. And this is where I was tagged in. Bourbon Bougie, where is his obligatory girlfriend appliance? Someone please fetch this man a girlfriend. And I'm like, yeah, these people are not going to get a woman simply thinking that women are using them for food. Like with that attitude, that's already one of those red pill manosphere talking points that women are just out to use them. And so when they think like that, underlying those underlying assumptions that a woman is out to use them, that already paints women in a negative light. So why would any woman jump to be a girlfriend to this person? Fibre says, not with that mindset about ladies, buddy. Chuckle Champ says, also, women are not going on dates to get fed. Just because OP asked them out on a date to a restaurant and there's no chemistry in person, the women don't owe the OP anything. The Evil Queen has spoken says, of course you will. If you're not willing to improve yourself to meet the standard of a certain type of women, just lower your requirements. Like if you like pretty and young, start going for uglier and older. Level up or date down, your choice. You know what? Her name matches her comment. Y'all, I'm going to end it there. The Evil Queen has spoken and dropped the mic. Level up or date down, your choice. That is a bar. And I'm going to end it there. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Okay.
I'm not one of
Us.
Okay. A hard head makes a soft.
Hello.
Children are to be.
Children.
Children are to be. Amen.
Am I
Yes.
getting them all right?
In my book. I'll give you something to
Eat.
when we go in this store, don't.
Steal stuff.
That's important. I brought you in this world and I can.
Feed you. I'm giving so many hard things.
No, you're doing excellent. Okay, all right. What about this one? You know what? Go get my.
Purse.
That's what I'm talking about. Say, run me my coins.